much, everyone. I have one of those standing desks, so I'm lifting my desk up at the moment because I feel like I can stand in front like I would be normally. Thank you so much. I really it's weird. I talk in front of couples all the time at weddings, but now I'm like, oh, I'm giving a presentation. Debra, I love that you opened up with that quote and that theme, and I'm going to echo that in the sense that when I began to think about networking as far as my own journey, and I forgot to set my timer. I'm going to give myself 9 minutes. I thought about the idea, being a mom and then being a business owner, of the idea of it takes a village. It takes a village to raise a family, to raise a child. And in that same sense, I thought about how maybe it takes a tribe to raise a business. And for me, the path to finding that tribe, finding myself, and providing the highest quality of service was through networking. And I can literally trace back.
Yeah, about that little bird.
What's that? Oh, I can literally trace back the evolution of that first idea to where I am now through networking. And I just wanted to take you on that journey. So in that first iteration of my company that Angela talked about, I started networking just locally in my own town of Stratford. I went to a networking group started by a husband and wife team locally that just wanted to, spread the word on small business. And in that group, I met a photographer by the name of Denise Pressman, and she had these awesome pens with her logo on them. And back then, as Kim will attest to, because I worked with Kim so much, I did a lot of cart before the horse. I did a lot of logos on things and pens and all kinds of things, but I didn't really actually have a business yet, but that was where I started. But I love that she had these pens, and she told me that she got them from this woman named Daryl from Promo World. So I contacted her, and she came over my house and talked to me about how to get logos on on pens. And I was talking to her about my business and how I gotta network more. And she's like, you need to talk to Laura Gorman over at the Valley Chamber. And she was so excited about connecting me. She literally called, Laura, I don't know if you remember this, but she literally called Laura on her cell phone in my living room, was like, here, talk to her now. She's going to tell you about what meetings are coming up. I was okay. So very quickly, I learned about the Valley Chamber, and I went to a coffee chat shortly after that and met Laura and Nancy and learned all about the Women and Networking group. And I think what I was really impressed about being in that circle, being amongst this group, was how before I was even an official member, both of them, including other people I met, were so willing to help and give ideas and contacts and other networking opportunities. So it's really wonderful to see already how amazing networking can work for you. So following that path, back in that original Stratford networking group, another woman I met was a sales and business coach by the name of Liz, and she invited me to her networking group. And in that meeting, I met another photographer, and her and I had very similar struggles, both moms, both trying to figure out how to build our business. And one of the reasons why we were working with Liz is that she is a sales and money coach, and we're trying to figure out how to adequately price our services. And this photographer by the name of Maria said to me, you need to do this cost of doing business analysis worksheet. And it'll really show you how much money you're charging and what you're getting, how you need to raise your prices. And so I did that math and promptly had a massive meltdown. And I'm sure, I don't know how I can see everyone, but I'm sure Kim is there. She is, she's smiling. Because I was like, oh my God, I'm still doing my video business. I'm like, how am I gonna make enough, churn enough out every month in order to make this worthwhile, profitable, etc. Literally days later, I went to a WIN meeting, and Kim Kasparian was a speaker that day. And she would later become my business coach and my guide through reinventing my business. So that's literally the path to how networking brought me to where I am today. through there, I found the path to finding myself. I started working with Kim in April of 2006. I remember one of the things that Kim said that I'll never forget is that I achieved my goal in the sense of creating an idea and putting it out there, but I didn't ever actually make a business. And so what I need to decide in this moment of like reinventing myself was, did I actually even want a business? And, you know, I worked all my life in the agency world, in the office life. I was now a mom, a wife. My daughter was 5. She was in school. She didn't need me as much. You know, what did I want for me now, you know, that could be fulfilling for my purpose? I was always an artist, always a storyteller, always a memory saver. And so I had to figure this all out. And by working with Kim and my therapist and my networking groups and fellow business school students, one day I just had this epiphany. I was planning my 10-year vow renewal in St. John with my husband, and I met this wonderful woman on the phone, a minister, who was going to perform our ceremony. And I just loved her spirit. I love this idea of representing people's love stories on their wedding day. And I just blurted out one day, like, what if I marry people? And I remember my husband saying, like, I don't know if you'll make that much money doing that. And I was just like, I don't care. I just want to do it. And I think this was, you know, the moment I needed to have that burst to send me on my way. So, you know, through, again, a lot more business coaching, a lot more redeveloping, created this new iteration of my business that I think so much more suits me. And by this time now, as Angela mentioned, on my 40th birthday, I became an ordained minister. I've married over 30 couples. I'm walking couples through what is really a trying time right now in COVID. I've started doing other services. I make handmade vow books. I do signage. I just completed a calligraphy course. I'm in the midst of building an Etsy store. I can do small scale planning for couples. Maybe that's my future. But what I've received from this journey is something that my husband said to my daughter, and that is, he was trying to explain to her what a calling is. And he said, well, that's what mommy does. It's something that that's work that someone does. It calls to them to fulfill their life. And that's what through this journey of networking, through meeting these moments in which just dominoed and evolved in order to find my purpose, find my joy and my profit, as Kim would say. It's given me confidence and support and peace. You know, so that's, all of that is just so invaluable. And I can trace every single piece of it back to networking. And the higher piece of that is, now that I have all those, it's helped me find my path to serving others. Because now that I've become, you know, well-versed in networking, I use it as a tool to not only give back to my fellow businesses, but also to serve my clients best. So now when I have a couple, and even if they don't end up using me, I always ask them, okay, who else do you need besides me? In the networking circles, I've met so many people that would be beneficial to them. And I'm able to give my clients vetted referrals, not just like a sheet of names, but like, here's somebody I know and trust, you know, that they are actually good and that, you know, you will like them. Oh, thank you very much. You know, being able to pass my clients on to fellow vendors if I'm booked, networking with other officiants and such. So it's all about, you know, serving first always leads back to the positive experiences in my business. And growing my network means that I may be small now, but that when I'm really to explode into the next level, I have everything in place to do that. And I have all of that all of that is thanks to networking. Oh, there we go. So I hope I didn't talk too fast. The pressure of the timer.